Okay, I'm going to be telling a story about my experiences with swimming lessons as a child. So, to preface, I am absolutely terrified of water and I'm getting over it, but for a long time, I was not going near lakes or anything. That wasn't my thing. Um, but when I was little, I was obsessed with water. I would have my Barbie dolls go in their pool, and that would be my favorite thing to do. On a hot summer day, I'd take my dolls outside and have them go swimming, or like I'd throw my stuffed animals in the little kiddie pool I had and try and have them experience water. Maybe it's because I'm a water sign, I don't know. But whatever reason, I was obsessed with water. Okay, and so, we live in the Pacific Northwest. There's water everywhere. And so my parents, reasonably so, decided that it was time when I was 7 years old to take me and, go to swimming lessons. And so I entered the pool so ready. I was obsessed with water. I loved it. I was like, I gotta learn how to swim so I can be like all my friends and go to the lake and have some fun. And so I reached the pool and I'm ready. I've got my nice little swimming suit on and I'm getting in line, and then it all ended for me. All the joy, all the anticipation was over the second I stepped in the water. I looked at that pool, and I looked at what all the other kids were doing, and I was like, this is not happening, because they were all diving to the bottom to get these little plastic rings. And I was like, if I have to go be submerged under the pool, under the water, and get that little ring, I'm not going to make it back up to the surface. So I was very unwilling, and my teachers, God bless them, they were probably, terrified to teach me because I was just unteachable. So they had me, instead of going and diving to the rings, they were like, okay, we're going to let you, progress to that. And so they had me, try a back float, and they had me on my back, and one of the teachers was holding me. And he told me that he was not going to let me go. He said to just focus on the ceiling and just let myself float. So I focused on the ceiling. I noticed a little, SpongeBob party balloon on the ceiling. I was like, this isn't so bad. I could relax. You know what he did? He let go. I was left floating, and I was like, I can't float on my own. That's not possible. And so I stopped floating. I scrambled to the bottom, took my little feet down to the bottom of the floor of the pool, and I told him, you lied to me. You said that you weren't going to let me go. But he did. So that was day one of swimming lessons. And the second I saw my mom's Crown Vic pull into the parking lot, I ran up to her, crying my eyes out. And I told her, I am not going back to swimming lessons. I cannot handle it. These people are crazy. What are they thinking? Having me diving down for rings, letting me go in the pool. Don't they know I could drown? And so she says, like I reiterate, we live in the Pacific Northwest. We have to be able to swim because there's water everywhere. And so I'm like, okay, obviously I'm a minor at this point. I'm tiny. I can't make my own decisions yet. So my mom sends me back to swimming lessons for, my own good the next day. Another terrible episode. Cold metal benches. We were all lined up at cold metal benches at the end of the pool. And we were all told that this was the day that we were going to be jumping into the pool. And I look at my instructor and I'm like, are you kidding me? I can't even dive for the rings in the kiddie pool, 2 feet of water. Now we've suddenly progressed. We're going to be going into the big pool. We're going to be jumping into the big pool. Never mind that we have life jackets on. No, we are not jumping into this big pool, I said. Or, I was shy. I didn't say this. This was all in my head, little speech bubbles. Thought bubbles, rather. And so we get ready to jump. I'm not having it. I'm like, this is not going to go my way. I'm not going to end up seeing my mother again. I'm going to die in this pool. And so I'm looking over the edge of the pool, wondering what's down there. What's 5 feet change about the world? What is going to be down there? Okay. And so I have my life jacket on. I'm all suited up like a little bubble, There's little 2-year-olds jumping like flies into the pool. And, the life instructor is catching them, and they're just hopping in there. I'm 7, I'm lanky, I'm quiet and awkward. So I'm looking at these people, these little tiny people, and I'm like, how are they doing that? So surely, to save my own image, I can do the same. So if not for those little 2-year-olds, I may not have jumped that day, but I did jump. And one of the instructors caught me, and I was on top of the world, victorious, undefeated. I was a showstopper. I jumped into that pool. Never mind that later that day, somebody had to carry me over the rope that I was supposed to swim under. Never mind that. I jumped into that pool. And so I went home. I was like, I'm going to nail swimming lessons. This is it for me. I am next to Michael Phelps. I'm going to be him. And so I get home, and then the next week, I go back to swimming lessons. And what? They're handing out the course reports, and I'm not passing. I don't get one of those little shiny stars. Those 2-year-olds, they're getting the stars. I'm not getting those stars. So I go up to the life instructor. I'm like, what, why am I not passing your class? And he goes, oh, well, you have to swim under the rope and catch the rings. So a year goes by. I'm 8 years old now, 3rd grade. I can write cursive. I can't swim. So I'm getting in the pool again. 2nd time around for swimming lessons. A couple weeks go by. Course ends. I failed again. So the next year, I go back. I fail again. And here we are, a 20-year-old who can't swim. But if there's one thing I learned from those swimming lessons, it's that you can, first of all, you can totally get showed up by a 7-year-old, by a 2-year-old rather. And also, you should probably learn to swim, because if you don't, you're going to mess up your entire life and you're going to develop a phobia of water. But at least I had fun, and at least I can say that I jumped into that pool with a life jacket on.